Hello, everyone. Patriot 5 and Patriot 6 here. Tonight we're going to have a little bit different of a show. Last night I was on with Cindy and Myrna and Ron. We had a little call. I had planned on doing a call after the State of the Union address, but the old man wouldn't shut up. But what we're going to do tonight is I have a few things I want to talk about after I talk to the kids, after I say the pledge and play the music. Then I'm going to do what I want to do. Then I'm going to open it up. I'm just going to sit here. So Bill Woods and Papa G and Janet and Cindy, Shreda, everyone here, I want you to let everyone know as they come on. Tonight's show is going to be different. After I finish, which is probably only going to take about 20 minutes, maybe 25, we're going to talk. I'm going to sit here so I can read and ask questions. We're going to ask questions. I want you guys' opinions on what he said last night. I want you guys' opinions on what you think is going to happen. If you get negative, you get negative. This is what the show is about tonight. It's about you taking control. You know, I keep trying to build up everyone, keep their spirits up. And then I go to some of my sites and some of the stuff I read, I just shake my head. I just close the page. I can't go no further because of the negativity. And that's what this group has never been. Our family has never been negative. But as me and Ron was talking today, it's a movie. And we're going to talk about the actors and actresses that was at this movie last night. We're going to talk about why certain people, and I've got some opinions about certain people that I can't pronounce her name. She's that lady, Irma. I don't know what her name is. I really don't. But she hates America, but yet she's in our government. Why in the hell would we allow someone like her in our government? Truthfully, I think she's a mask. Heck, she might be MJ. I don't know. But there's so many things going on. And you know, it says it usually gets quieter before the dawn. But in this case, I think it's going to get louder because it has to get louder. So let me say the pledge. Let me play the music. And then we'll get on with your show tonight. Your show. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, go from sea to shining sea. From Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd rather stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt of this land. God bless the USA. Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless you.
I don't know about you, but I love that song. And you know, my goal is to someday actually hear him sing it, but not so much hear him sing it. I love it the way that all the people sing it, because there's a lot of soldiers, a lot of military people in there, a lot of other people. And the way the video is, it's really, really an amazing video. And good to see Ian and Orphan Annie and David and Papa G, Jeffrey, Ian, Ron, Janet, Bill. As I was telling everybody before I went away to do the stuff, guys, tonight's your show. I'm going to go in to do the kids real quick. Then I've got 2 or 3 things I want to talk about real quick. And probably around the 20-minute mark, the show is yours. I'm going to look here and see questions. And Janet, and anyone who wants to, Expert 1871, Soretta, John, good to see all of you. Anybody who wants to help me, let's say, John, you have a question. If I don't see it and I don't respond to it, and guys, this isn't me. You're going to ask me questions about last night, and you're going to see a blank face because I didn't understand hardly a thing he said, but I got some opinions. But I want to know your opinion, Soretta and John and Ian and Orphan Annie, David, Papa G. I want to know your opinions on what he said last night. Did he say things that we want to hear? In a way, I think he did. And I'll give my opinion on that and see what you think. I'll give my opinion on some other things and see what you think. And, you know, it's funny, guys, because I'm going to talk in a minute about Bruce and a big call last night. It was 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Bruce in a big call, guys, was 2 minutes and 8 seconds. And I think he had more information in 2 minutes and 8 seconds than he's had in the last 208 days. He had a couple of things in there, and I might even ring that up. I might even ring the Bruce in a big call up and let you listen to it. That's an idea. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll set my phone up. I'll bring the Bruce in a big call on, and you guys can listen to exactly what he had to say. Instead of me telling you, you'll hear it. But he had a couple of good things. I did not listen to him last night. I'd listened to him on a replay. Marianne decided she wanted to listen to all the other. And we are here because of what's happening. There's a lot of arrests being made from what I understand. But let's talk to the kids. Super Jimmy, what did you think? I see you post, and you post every day. What do you think about what's going on right now? What about you, Patriot 11? Do you see us getting closer and closer to buying that ranch, and you teaching our family and friends and loved ones how to ride horses? Karate Kid, our wrestler now also. And Wyatt Earp, brave, such a brave boy. What does mom and dad think about it? Do they talk to you boys about the Patriot? Do they talk to you about what it was like when your grandma and grandpa, because your mom and dad are young, but when your grandma and grandpa were my age, do they talk to you? Do they talk to you about the things? You know, Patriot Princess, our queen, and Hunter. You know, when I was a kid, My grandson just the other night, he looked at me and he said, Grandpa, when you was a kid, how long did your mom and dad let you stay on the computer? How long did you get to talk on the cell phone, or did you have your own tablet? I was 6 years old before we had a black and white TV. And the only reason we got color 2 years later is because Ron got out of high school, Russ got out of high school, and Ron went and bought a color TV. We were probably the first people in Buckingham, Illinois that had a color TV. We were the poorest people probably in Buckingham, Illinois. Patriot, Boogs, Boogaloo, Boogie, and Booger. We were probably the poorest people, but we were the first people that had a color TV because Ron wanted to have color TV. So the answer I give to my grandson is we didn't have none of that stuff. We went outside and played Patriot Little Leona. We went outside and hung out with our friends, Patriot Little Leilani. And you know, Patriot Cutie Pie and Patriot 17, our new Patriot kids from the Ukraine. You know, you live what we live. Folks, these are two children that don't know what it's like to go outside and be able to play. They don't know what it's like to go out and say, hey, I'm going to walk to the store and get a soda pop. They don't know. They have to live in fear every day for the last almost 5 years. Would you expect anybody, Patriot Super Gymnast, would you expect any kid to have to live like that? And may I add, guys, Patriot Super Gymnast had her last volleyball game last night. She had her last volleyball game. You know, to you guys, this is Ella. And I got there and I'm watching her, and she served the first time. She didn't play the first game. She played the second. She serves. She gets 4 points in the first time she served. 2 aces, 2 that they played it out and they won the point. It comes around and they're getting close to winning, and it's 22 to like 16 or 17. I'm sitting right there right by the court, first row. She got the ball to go back to serve, and I said, close it out, baby. Close it out for Papa. She looked over and smiled in the first serve she made. I'm telling you, she hit it so high in the air because she serves underhand. She's a 6th grader. She hit it so high up in the air, Patriot 7. She hit it that high, and you seen it. You were sitting right next to me. I thought it was going to hit the ceiling. It just missed the ceiling, and it comes down. And it was hit so high, the kids actually lost it. She got an ace. 2 points away from victory. Patriot Small Hank, 2 points away from victory. She serves the next one, and boy, she hit it as hard as she could. It barely cleaned the net and hit the girl right alongside the head. The girl didn't get hurt. Once we knew it was okay, we cheered and we yelled. Ron knows what I'm talking about because when she did her last serve, you know, my daughter was filming, and he heard me yell at her. And when she got the last point and they won, jumped up and down, met her team in the middle, did the shaking hands of the opponents. Patriot Little Monkey did their shakes of the hands, went in and got in a line and led their 7th grade team out. As soon as that is, she runs over to me and she gives me a hug. And she said, that was for you, Papa. She gave me a hug and a little kiss. We got our picture taken together. And it meant so much to me, Patriot Little Kira. See, guys, it's about timing. It's about being in the right place at the right time. You kids have never been in a better place in your life. And I know when I go over here and start talking to your moms, your dads, your grandmas, your grandpas, your loved ones, I know when I start talking to them, there's going to be negativity. But you kids do not need negativity. I'm going to tell you, every child I just talked about, consider your age and consider what it would be like to be afraid to go outside because there's a war and you don't know if you'd ever come back inside. Now, I'm going to go to Patriot Little Monkey, 5 years old. She'll be 6 on May 5th. 5 years old, in a war over in the Ukraine and Russia has been going for almost 5 years. By the time she was old enough to know anything, she would have never known anything but scaredness. How would you like to live in a country, kids, that you don't know if you're going to have electricity and your heat is run by electricity and you have to snuggle up on the sofa, all of you, with your winter coat? How would you like to have to sleep in your winter coat, your gloves, and your hat under as many blankets as you can get on you, because you're afraid if you fall asleep and you move too much, the blankets are going to fall off and you're going to freeze? That is no kind of life for anybody. But last night, kids, last night I seen hope. I seen hope in a man that would not shut up, but we all love him. He wouldn't shut up because he's going to give you the life that every child should deserve. He's going to give the kids in the Ukraine and Russia and all countries in the world. He is not going to allow things to happen. And that's what I got out of it, children. So what I'm going to tell you, this concludes tonight's version. And I hope you liked it, because I did it a little different, because I want to get into my people over here. I want to hear what Moonchild and Janet and David has to say about last night. I was really hoping Myrna was on, because Myrna was a big factor. Eileen and people like that. Cindy was the one that really got it going. And them not being here tonight, I haven't seen them. Them not being here really is disappointing to me. It's disappointing to me, because they were the ones that wanted this. But we're going to try to make it work. If we can't make it work, it'll be a very short meeting tonight, because I'm going to go in now. I'm going to read a few things, kids. But remember, we love you. We're here for you. We're doing this for you. We're doing this for you so you can lead us when we're not able to do it. And it's not going to be that we ain't able to do it. It's that we want to just go into our years and enjoy. Because let's face it, the things that's going to happen, I'm going to talk about them real quick. The things that's going to happen is going to change the world completely. I talk a lot about it. That being said, this video is not made for you children. You can watch it if your parents, grandparents, or legal guardians give you permission. The music we play, we have no legal rights to. We use it for entertainment purposes only. That being said, anything else I play tonight, we have no legal rights to that either. I'm doing it for entertainment and educational purposes only. So let's see what we have here. I'm going to pull something up here. Here we go. Here's Bruce, guys. Nope, maybe not. It's not going to play. Huh. Ain't that weird? Huh. I really had all intentions to.
Before the speech starts. We got a couple of things today, one of which was from one of our better sources. Said, and we got this at 9 a.m. this morning. It said notifications, and it might as well be notifications to us and maybe notifications to bondholders that they have money in their accounts. But they said 48 hours. Now, if that's true, and we have 48 hours, that's only Thursday. And we'll have another call Thursday night at the regular time, regular format. So you've got that possibility, I'm going to call it, for Thursday to receive some good information, some numbers, 800 numbers, hopefully. And then the other thing we got was regarding the tariff dividends. Yeah, tariff dividends are supposed to kick off starting the 1st of March, which is Sunday. So realistically, anybody on Social Security should receive their tariff dividend by direct deposit if they have a Social Security check amount coming, their direct deposit. If you're not on Social Security, you're not getting it. You're going to get it as a check in the mail, snail mail. It'll be a U.S. Treasury check, and you'll get it that way. Okay, President Trump's just starting. That's basically all we have so far in the way of new intel.
See what I said, guys? I only played 1 minute and 40 seconds of 2 minutes and 8 seconds. He goes on the rest of the 28 seconds to just talk about really nothing, talk about the president getting ready to speak. And I didn't stick around to see what he did because I wasn't on the call. But I think Bruce last night, when he finished the call, I think he had it fixed up for the people that was there, that they could listen to the president's speech, which could have been good because Bruce has people all over the world. And there might have been people in other countries there. And now they got to listen to the speech. It was long, it was boring, but it was good. The ovations was amazing. The things that he did was amazing, but he talks. What I want, guys, is for him to come out and say what's happening. I want him to come out and say, we're taking mainstream media down now. I want him to say that the people who are controlling the weather are going away now. If we have to go back to the weather that we had when I was a kid, fine. But this stuff that what they're doing now, my goodness gracious, this is sickening. This is sickening. People are getting snow where they didn't even know snow existed. Hi, Linday. What is it? Linday Trick. But anyway, as I said, that's where we are. That's what we're that's what we're doing in that. And hi, Robert. Just got your messages. I haven't been on here. So the few things I want to talk about, forget the applause, forget the standing ovations. Listen to what the hat actually revealed tonight. He pulled back the curtain on the 2 secret wars he is fighting for America. War number 1, foreign enemy. He confirmed that after the U.S. military obliterated Iran's nuclear program last year in Operation Midnight Hammer, the regime is now rebuilding it. He stated that Iran is developing missiles that will soon reach the United States. Then he looked the world in the eye and said, I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror to have a nuclear weapon. This wasn't a warning, it was a promise. Can you imagine a man who's obliterated something like that? This country, I feel sorry for the people because I don't care what country you're in, there's good people. Right now, Russia is taking a beating. Everybody in Russia is bad. They're not bad. They're human beings just like us, Maria. They're human beings just like us, Papa G and Janet and John. They just want to have a life. They don't want to get caught up in all this mumble, bumble, jumble, bull crap. They just want to have a life. And there's a lot of good people. When I hear someone talking about the Ukraine should be blown off the map because the people are terrible there. They're the nicest. I know for sure. I know several of them there because it's not just through Julia, Masha, her friend, her mom, and 2 little kids, but it's her friends that I've been in contact with. It's others. These people just want one thing, and that's freedom. When I try to talk to them and tell them about the big N and the big G, and I send Julia stuff all the time, and she shares it with her family, her friends, and her loved ones, and people come back and say, that's such a dream, and make sure you tell Ralph and Ron we said thank you. We keep them up to date. They're great people. But as snobbish as some of us Americans can be, we turn our heads. We need the war ended. And I think there was a notification last night when the Mr. the Hat said something. And I'm going to talk about that when we go into the part where you guys take over the show. Remember, get your comments ready. I'll read them, and then I'll wait for people to help me if I don't have the answer. And guys, you're going to ask me a lot, John, Ian, Jeffrey, Lady Anita. You guys are going to ask me a lot of questions about last night that I'm going to sit here and look like But that's why I'm looking for you guys, Maria and Janet and Papa G. I'm going to ask you guys, help me what you think. We may be right, we may be wrong, but what's it matter? Isn't that the life we've been living for how many years? Sometimes it's right and sometimes it's wrong. But the one thing I'm going to ask each and every one of us here is let's work on keeping our vibrations up. If we get a post and we think it's good, but if it has a lot of negativity in, don't post it. If you want to share it with a few of your friends, share it with a few of your friends. But to put it on our main sites, and it's going to bring nothing but negativity. I commented on a post last night. And it said 100% of all people think that something was on. I don't remember. I should have got it. But the post was 100% of all the people are against something. And when I read it, I thought, I'm not against it. So I replied to it, and I put it down in the reply section, and I said, this is false because I'm not against it. I'm for it. And then another gentleman commented on me and made some comment, and I misunderstood. And I said, well, all I'm saying,
agree to disagree.
Yeah, all I'm saying here is, as he said, we agree to disagree. But see, there is no agreeing to disagree, John and Papa G and Lynn. I'm just going to call you Lynn. There is no disagreement because, you can have 10 billion people. Now, answer me this, Janet and Lady Anita. You can have 10 billion people in the world, and you can do a survey with 10 billion people. But if only 9,999,999,999 agree with it, but one person doesn't, that does not make 100%. And people just get on numbers so much. Anybody, and guys, I sit up here, Janet, Papa G, and John Holiday. I sit up here and I go after our president as much as anybody. Not because I don't love him, because I do, but I go after him because I'm tired of hearing, well, if this was a chess match, he's 10 moves ahead of everyone. Then why is this still going on? Why, instead of playing a chess match, don't he do the job that we hired him for? Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I got out of things last night here in a few minutes, but I do have one more thing or two more things I want to talk about. You did get me.
Get you what?
I got it. This is a summary of Judy Bidington for today. As reported by Judy Bidington, a renowned journalist and author, significant sequence of events is unfolding globally, making a major turning point in human history. According to the latest update between 24 February and 27 2026, February 2026, a series of coordinated events will take place, paving the way for a new financial system and restored republic. In a big blog post, we will break down the key elements of the report and explore the implications of these changes. The GCR is a critical component of the new financial system, and it is expected to ignite a gold-backed quantum financial system, QFS, in 209 nations on February 26, 2026. This move will mark a significant way from the current fiat currency system and towards a more stable and secure financial framework. The QFS is designed to be a quantum secure asset-backed system that will provide a foundation for global prosperity and peace. The implementation of NESARA, National Economic Stabilization and Recovery Act, and GESARA, Global Economic Stabilization and Recovery Act, is a critical aspect in the new financial systems. These acts claim to cancel debt, abolish income taxes, and establish a new financial framework that promotes global prosperity and peace. NESARA and GESARA are also restored will also restore constitutional law to all courts and legal matters, retrain judges and attorneys, and remove dark CABAL agents and other CABAL officials from their positions. As we approach this great change, this essentially to recognize the profound implications it holds for humanity. The new financial systems based on gold standard and quantum secured QFS will provide foundations for global prosperity and peace. The abolition of the debt income taxes and the establishment of the new sales tax revenue statements will provide economic stability, fairness, moreover, shifts towards more consciousness and awakened society, will enable humanity to live in harmony with the planet and with each other. In conclusion, the report from Judy Byington highlights a significant turning point in human history, marking the beginning of a new era, prosperity, peace, and unity. As we move towards a restored republic and a new financial system, it is essential to stay informed, vigilant, and open to the changes that are unfolding. This future holds immense promise, and it is up to us to seize the opportunity of a brighter world. Judy also says to please be aware, go out and do your own research. She is giving yours based on what she has come. She's not saying it's 100% right. She's not saying it's not wrong. She does encourage that. The new gold asset-backed quantum financial system is live. These first 250 years were just the beginning. The global age in America is now upon us. The revolution that began in 1776 has not ended. It continues because the flame of liberty and independence still burn in the hearts of every American president. That comes from President Donald J. the Hat State of the Union Address, Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. A new quantum financial system with new quantum financial systems. Now, online banks were failing. As of 4 a.m. Eastern, Sunday, 22nd February 2026, golden asset-backed currencies went active in the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, Germany, Australia. First wave of nations now have GESARA. On Monday, 25 February 2026, the Quantum Financial System, QFS, officially transitioned into full operational control. Global banking structures are now sinking to the asset-backed framework, dismantling the final remnants of a fiat system. On Tuesday, February 24th, 2026, President the Hat stated the Union address. Then it just talks about the global currency finance thing. Now, to show you how things are going, and I'm only going to talk a minute, guys, and then I'm going to turn it over to you. But to show you how things are going, China, which is a major player, their number one bank in China has collapsed. It has went bankrupt. It's another one of those places that they used the silver, they used the gold notes, and now it's time to pay the piper. It has collapsed. Things are not what they appear in this town, in this country. As I told you, I chat with a little Russian figure skater who's went through some very rough times, and she was scheduled to be in Russia on March 7th in an event. They was paying her handsomely, and this was canceled because of turmoil. So, yes, things are happening. The CABAL is getting shut down. We are winning. And even though we get aggravated, we are winning. Now, that pretty much concludes my information part. Wasn't bad. I said we'd be ready to go about 30 minutes in. It's 35. So, what I'm going to talk about now is a little bit when our president walked out last night. The applause he got, the support he got through the whole show. When he talked about he will not allow the worst country in the world to have any nuclear weapons. When he talked about the men and women each month that are being lost in them two countries that I mentioned where Julia is from. When he talked about these, it's time to put a stop. He says it's time to put a stop. He don't say things unless he's ready to take action. Now, look at here. He put a stop to a certain person in another country. And if you want to know the country, just think of their currency. Okay? He put a stop to, I'll put it to you this way. My favorite ball player of all times is Luis Aparicio. He's from Venezuela. That might tell you what country. Now do you see? They run videos all the time on TikTok and YouTube and other social media sites. These people are dancing in the streets with happiness and joy. Happiness and joy because this man is gone. And in essence, the hat is running their country. What was it? 800 million barrels of oil? 800 million barrels of oil that he has got from them. He has cut Russia off at the knees with getting the oil and not having the revenue to continue. He is putting a stop to so many things. Now, guys, Bill Woods and John and Jeffrey, I'm going to say something here. Last night, I thought there was a lot of him being a politician and not our president. But maybe that's what he has to do. You know, a touching memory for me in last night's show is when he talked about a guy that I was following. I couldn't get enough of this guy when he would speak because he knows everything. And that was Charlie Kirk. I couldn't get enough of listening to him. And then he was taken away. But I'm going to bet you $1 to a donut, Janet. I'm going to bet you $1 to a donut, Lady Anita. He was in that crowd last night. I'm going to tell you right now, there was so many people in that crowd last night cheering him on, standing ovations. But you didn't know it because they had their mask on. They had their mask on. Question yourself. Picture him standing up there last night. And I'm trying to. And as you're looking at him, like I'm looking straight on at my screen, which is how I looked at my TV last night here at Ron's. Picture him, a man sitting to the left of him. What if that man was Junior? Huh? How many times have we seen here lately, Bill Woods? How many times have we seen that Junior has said it's time to take his mask off? But what about MJ? And I don't mean the greatest basketball player ever. What about MJ, who was accused of so many things? And you know who he was accused by? The Democratic bullshit people. Yes, that's who he was accused by. He wasn't doing things with the kids. He was saving them kids. And if you don't believe me, just go to social sites because kids that he saved are coming out speaking up for him. Oh boy, when you're with me, oh boy, I want the world to see that you were meant for me. That is a famous song by a famous, to me, the greatest rock and roll singer ever. But he left us early along with two of his friends because they would not play ball. But you know, we got something. Papa G, Bill Woods, David, Jeffrey, we got something that's keeping them with us. And you know what? They're going to get on these special beds and they're going to go back and they're going to finish what they started. But in the meantime, they're bringing out every bad person in that industry and they're bringing them down. When you talk about J.E.'s Island, when you see certain people that was the presidents of the United States of America, I seen that one of them was there over 2,000 times. One of their wives, one of these presidents' wives, had their own special hunting place, their own special forest that they could go hunting in. And they were not hunting game like deer and rabbit and turkey. You know what they was hunting. These are the most ruthless people that ever has stepped face on the face of this earth. They deserve everything they're going to get. Part of me wants to put them in them three ways: the needle, the line where they poop, poop, or the neck. Part of me wants to see that happen. I don't want to actually see it, but part of me wants them to put them in a little 5 or 6 foot cell one way and 5 or 6 foot cell the other. Part of me wants them to do that and put a bucket in there that they only change the bucket. Give them food whenever you think they deserve food, but make it slop. Make them beg for their lives the way these children and all these people that they was against, that they did all these ruthless things to. This is sickening, Papa G. It burns my heart. It breaks my heart. It tears me apart to think anybody had to go through this. I heard something about the degenerate lady the other day. I think you know who I mean. I think her name is Ellen DeGenerate. Boy, what a degenerate person. The things that she did. Oh, my goodness gracious. But she's one of them that I'm leaving the country. All left it, you're in GITMO. These people, these terrible, terrible people. And I felt last night in his message, that he addressed that. Now, I've given you some of my feelings. Guys, start asking questions. This is your time, guys. If you don't ask questions, I'm just going to close the show down because I have no more. I didn't prepare. I wanted you guys to interact here tonight. So Jeffrey, Papa G, David, Janet, anybody who's here, anybody who's over here. Now, we got 103 people on and only about 15 in chat. Guys, why don't you come over and chat and tell me your opinion? Come in new. Let's put 103 people in the chat. Introduce yourself. Come in. 104 people now. I really want you to ask. Papa G says she's a man. Who's a man? Gary Sands 389. You know, I feel the same way. Gary Sands says I'd like to see it just to know it's true. I would too. But then again, do you want to live with that memory? Do you want to live with that memory? Now, there's a guy that used to be on our show, and he sent me a thing about something like that once. And he told me, oh, no, it's not that. Because I told him never send me anything about the children. No, it's not that. I only seen about 5 or 6 seconds of the video he sent me. I still can't get that out of my head. This was over 3 years ago. Come on, guys. Tell me your opinions. Bill Woods, what did you think about last night's talk? And it's we the people's money stolen lawfully comes back to us and each family. Yes, that is a good point. And he made that point last night. He told us we will get our money back. Janet wants God to hear our prayers. I think he is. I'm pretty sure, Janet, he's all in it for us. Jeffrey, that can be true, but I'm not asking. Jeffrey, I'm not asking. None of us are really going to know what's up till it all breaks loose. What I'm asking, Jeffrey, did you guys in the chat, What was your opinions? What stuck out to you? A fake central casting. A fake central casting last night. Yes, it was. I agree 100%. Ron says 1776. How many times did he mention 1776? Bill Wood says, I liked what he said and really enjoyed pointing fingers at the camera, at the Democrats. Yes. The hat does a good job, John said. I agree. I agree, Jeffrey. Good one. Jeffrey says he was patting himself on the back too much. He was for a long time, Jeffrey, but then I felt he decided it was time. And you can ask Ron right now. He's in chat. You can ask him right now. I looked at him and I said, I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of him patting himself on the back. The entire show was a movie exposure. Yes, it was, Lady Anita. Q is the 17th letter of the alphabet. Yep. Can't argue with here, Papa G. Yes. Janet, good one. Janet says the hat did great, and we saw the traitors in AKA Democrats. Yes, we did. You know, nothing hurt me more than when he asked for that one individual thing, everybody to stand and applaud. You can't stand and applaud for a 100-year-old man that fought in wars and was given the Medal of Honor. You can't stand and applaud for that. You don't deserve to be in this country. The hat mentioned eliminating income tax. How many times now? It's starting to get old. Peter, get off the pot. I agree, Kevin, but I really believe you're going to see it. I really believe you're going to see the income tax taken away. Look at all the people he recognized. Yes, he did. It wasn't, for a brief time, as it was mentioned, he patted himself on the back. For a brief time, he did. But boy, then all of a sudden he started giving credit to so many people. Yes, Tony says it was long and he enjoyed that, made a lot of fools of the Democrats. Yes, he did. Great point. Red tie means it was JFK Jr. There you go. I'm loving this, guys. You're really doing good. I really appreciated the lady in red dress in demands sitting the only one standing and clapping for everything. Yes, Lori. Let's see. People, the hat stands out in the opposite of what you think. Yes, he does. That's the whole thing. What we're thinking he's saying, he's actually saying it in, what do you want to say? Different language. That's why we have to put this and figure it out. Yes, they are. Jeffrey, the Dems that didn't stand and clap for those vets are sick. Yes, they are. Because it doesn't matter what they are, how important they think they are. Without these vets, without these people keeping our country safe, they're nothing. I agree. Gary says it was treason when they didn't stand up. 100%. He did not recognize Jesse Jackson. No, he did not. And I believe there's a reason for that. Guys, I'm not saying good or bad about Jesse Jackson. I'm saying I met him. And let's put it this way. He stands in my book about the same way that Obama does. He deserves credit. We didn't know every movement and what he's dealing with. No, that's the whole thing, guys. We only see what they allow us to see. We don't know the pressure that this man is under. I think it's funny, guys, real quickly. I went on TikTok last night while it was on. I was watching it, but I got on TikTok, and they actually showed police coming in and arresting him live. He was doing the State of the Union, and there was at least 1,000 people watching a video that they was arresting him at the time. And these Democratic people was believing it. The stupidity of some of these people. Hello, Janet. Hello, family. Yes, he did. He's surrounded with evil and ugly people. I agree. These people that he has to deal with day in and day out, unbelievable. He called out the Democrats for 30 minutes straight, and it's about time. Yes, it is. And the only thing I was disappointed with, he did not call out mainstream media news. Yes, he is. The hat is showing us who doesn't support us. Yes, he is. Yes, John says he hopes he gets the special beds. We all need them, John. John, I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I'm telling you, there's nobody in better need than this young man. But we all need them. I need them for my little dog. Yes, Stephanie, I think it will be great, but it will happen when it happens. Well, here's mine and Ron's take, I think, on it. It will happen before February 4th because we're going to have the celebration of the world, not just the United States of America. July the 4th. I'm sorry. It will happen before July 4th. But see, Ron was saying maybe it'll happen. I don't think it'll happen on him because this man wants to have the biggest fireworks show. He wants every country. And I truthfully believe by July 4th, every country will be pretty much the same. They will be dealing just like the United States. The bad people will be gone. There might be a one lingering here and lingering there, but they're going to be gone.
If they're going to introduce the special beds on April 2nd, something's got to happen.
Yeah, as Ron said, if they're going to introduce the special beds by April 2nd, something has to happen. Hats showing on national TV, the Democrats don't put America or America first. They never have. That's the whole thing. You know, my dad told me when I was a young kid, if you're smart, you're a Republican or you're independent. Do not be a Democrat. He told me that when I was a young boy. I didn't understand what he meant. But boy, 62 years later, I can remember, and he was right. Yes, it was. Now, it was great to see them honor the men's gold medal hockey team. What do you think that the significance of that was? See, because what I got out of that, how many people that he honored right there on that team? What did they have around their neck? Gold. What are we going to? Gold back standard. He showed us that our hockey team just went in and showed the world that we're going to the gold back standard. I may be wrong, but that's one thing. I'm not good on comms, but that's one thing I thought. And then the love he give for the goalie, when he said he is the greatest Olympic hockey goalie of all time. I'm going to argue with him there because there's a man named Jim Craig. Who won the Olympics, 26 years ago in the miracle game. Yeah, that to me, I can't say how great this guy was in the Olympics hockey. I followed to see if they was winning, but I didn't watch any of it. I couldn't put myself to it. Papa G listens to Frank 26. What does he say about this? Yes, the golden age was a calm. Yes, he did. Good pickup. He also said golden days are coming. Ooh, Papa G is stacked with silver. Well, good for you, Papa G. I don't have any silver or any gold, but I'm telling you, when it comes to foreign currency, I have just a little bit.
Yeah, your daughter talking about it.
Yes, as a matter of fact, my daughter today, when she called me and did a video call just before I came on live, she asked me, she said, Dad, what do you know about XRP? She said she's been swamped for the last 2 days with messages about XRP. If you want to become a millionaire, they said, before such and such a date, get XRP. Now, when I tell you about XRP, guys, don't go out and run it. Don't think I'm a financial advisor. I'm not. I'm just passing things on. I never thought of it that Jeffrey, you might be right. I never thought of it because he said they're going to the White House. I never thought of it like that. It could be. The only thing I say is he's 100% against that. He's 100% against that. And I'm not sure he would allow that for our country to do that. And I'm not going to say what it is, guys. You got to read Jeffrey what he just said because I'm not going to bring it up here. We haven't been gold back since 1933. No, but we're about ready to be. 46 years ago. Yeah, I was telling Ron, it was 46 years ago, like 2 days ago, wasn't it, John? Because I remember reading an article and it said 46 years ago today is when they won. But see what a lot of people forget about that, John. We beat the USSR. It wasn't Russia, it wasn't Ukraine. We beat the USSR, and they was an army. I mean, their coaches got fired. I heard some of them even got, more than fired because they lost, and they were not programmed to lose. But Jim Craig, Aruzioni, and these kids, remember, what we got to remember here too, John, as Ron and me talked last night, these weren't professionals. These weren't professional. Some of the hockey team this year were professional. These were not. These were what?
All the hockey team this year was professional.
These were just players that were amateurs. Remember, we didn't used to be able to send professional players to the Olympics. And that's another thing when people say things change. That's what ruined the Olympics for me. Okay, so Frank had some good information today. Linday, I'll have to check it out. Frank's 20. A lot of people say it's coming. Well, Bruce said he could have a celebration call Thursday night, tomorrow night. Papa G, my brother, has 10,000 XRP. Wow. Stay close to your brother, Papa G. Silver behind the scenes 10 years ago was 5,000 an ounce. Wonder how high it really is now. I don't know. Yes, I do remember 22 cents XRP. I was talking to my daughter about it tonight.
We got it at like 33.
Yeah, Ron was just telling me that, Maria, that all of them were professionals. But like I said, I didn't watch it. This is the first Olympics that I've ever missed the hockey. I'm telling you, 46 years ago when we won that Olympics, and what people don't remember, when we beat the USSR, we didn't win the gold medal. We had to go out and play again, and we were so high, and I was so worried. But I'm telling you, I was sitting in my mom and dad's and Ron's living room watching the game with Ron, and when they won, I'm telling you, I jumped up. I'm a short guy, and I almost hit this. I think I did hit the ceiling, Yes, the women's hockey team are coming to the White House. Yep, I've heard that the dinar is going up and up. And, I can remember going back when me and Ron bought our dinar. We only bought enough that we wanted to get some money. It was supposed to be $4, maybe $4.50. Now I'm hearing it could go as much as for Redemption Center people, $20, $25. I wish I'd have bought more.
And we were scared because we thought.
I think the banks know a little bit, Lady Anita, but they've all been told they can't talk at all right now. Come on, guys, give me something to work with here. Okay, Maria Camacho, you're telling me, and I've addressed this already, that all of the USA hockey team were professionals. How does that make you feel? Because for me, growing up watching the Olympics for the last 60 some years, it really upsets me that they let professionals play in the Olympics. Yes, bank stories, and they are just stories, made up stories have been going on for years. Yes. All currencies will go to one, Kevin. Yes. But see, they have to reevaluate everything to bring it that. It doesn't automatically just go there. The countries have to take the currencies that we have and others have off the market to bring everything to a one, is what I've been told. I'm glad he brings you so much joy. I feel like I'm competing with Frank 26 here. And I like Frank. Sometimes he gets a little woo, but so do I.
Frank was the first guy we started to
Yeah.
listen to.
As Ron said, Frank was the first guy we started listening to.
That's why we bought the dinar.
John, that's right. The plus for the hat is he's not a politician. But John, didn't you think last night for just a little bit, he thought he was? And then, I want to address some of these. When these people sat there, when that lady, guys, do you remember this? When that lady, I don't know her name, Irma Ema, I don't know her name. I don't want to know her name. I can't stand the woman. But when she started yelling back at him that he was bad for America, that lady should have been taken right there, escorted, and put in jail. She disgraced the country. No man, no woman should have the right in a public place like that to yell at our president. What would the Democrats done if this was last year, 2 years ago, when Sleepy was given his State of the Union? If you think his was long last night, how long would it have been Sleepy doing his? Well, America, I want to say, where was I at?
I don't think Sleepy ever had one.
Yes, Ron said, did he ever have one? Yes, Omar, yes. That's who I was trying to say. That lady should have been taken out of there. She should have been publicly embarrassed, and she should have been put on the next plane out of this country. She has no rights here. She disgraced our country last night. She disgraced our president. She showed no class. She also comes out publicly and say she can't stand our country, so get her out. Yes, she does. John, she hates America. The hat loves America. Jail first. I'd like to see her go to jail. I'd like to see her cry like a little baby. Yeah, the brother husband. Boy. And you know what? Not just a one. She married two of her brothers. And we all know in the United States, a marriage isn't consummated until you do what you do, a man and a woman. And she admits to doing that with her two brothers. How sick is that? But these are the same people that want teachers to teach our kids certain things. Janet, you leaving us? Oh, Pamela, sweet dreams. Good night, Pamela.
It's after 9.
Oh, guys, I didn't realize it was this late. XRP is at a good price, Cindy. This movie is sucking very much. There you go. I never understood tariffs until the hat came in and he started talking about them. I started studying them. And this man is literally going to take tariffs and he's going to wipe all taxes out. The only taxes we're going to pay is, I've heard different reports, 14% on anything that's new or 18%. But something that broke my heart last night is when he talked about that lady that needed this medicine, and it was like $5,000 and he got it down to $500. This lady needs this medicine. How many people, even at $500, I couldn't afford it? Okay, I heard the hat tell lie after lie while bragging. No mention of, well, why would he mention that? Why would he mention that guy in public? The records are all out. If you go to any social site, you'll see the people. They're going to be dealt with. I not saying he didn't tell some lies, but could you elaborate what lies he kept saying out over and over? Because I didn't hear them. Yes. You know, John, and that's exactly 100% true. A businessman, somebody that loves our country. And, you know, that's why I love where we're going, where the government is going to be cut 90%, where anybody, John, you, me, Ron, anybody can have the right to run this country. I don't want it. That's right. I mean, you got to make it affordable. I mean, give it. Why do we even have to pay? If someone needs something to keep them alive, why do we need to have medicine? But then again, that's one thing when he was talking about lower. Now, listen, guys, see if I'm right. Lower prices for medication. He elaborated on that for a while. He took credit for what he did, but it was credit that wasn't needed. We're going to these special beds. It's announced April 2nd. Will be announced to the world that we'll be able to use them starting April 2nd. People who have Zim and doing projects will get on a little early. But if we're going to that, why are we making a fuss? Why are we wasting any time on medication? What he needs to do, if we've only got a little over a month until April 2nd, what he needs to do is he needs to come out and say, all medication is free. It's time we take Big Pharma down. It's time they have made billions and billions and billions. You know, my goodness gracious, you go to the hospital, you know, think of it this way, expert, and Maria and Stephanie, you go to the hospital and they bring you in just an aspirin. It's $5 for an aspirin. Boy, you don't want two. If you really got pain and you need a Tylenol, you may have to call the bank and see if you can get a loan or mortgage your house. Why are we living like this? He's been in over a year. It's time the movie ends and it's time we get. We're going to the greatest transformation of wealth in the history of the world. Yes. I'm gonna shut down because I gotta get something to eat. We're almost an hour and 10 minutes, but I'm gonna shut down with John saying nothing wrong with a great global economy that benefits everyone. Right there, make the world great again. John says them two statements right there ends the show. Guys, thanks for participating. I enjoyed this show. Maybe we'll do it again on a couple of subjects because there's so little information out there. I really want to open up and let you guys give your opinions on everything. But with that, good night. God bless. Me and Ron will see you Friday night. Have a great day, a great evening, and know we're close. Keep your vibrations up. I didn't realize it was that